Are gooner games bad for you? It will depend on how old are you really, but just be aware that what I will talk about in this video will apply mostly to the male audience. I know for sure that are also females who goon, let's be real. You girls are just as savage as males, if not worse in some cases. But going back into subject, age becomes an important factor. Why does age become an important factor when it comes to gooning? Well, when you're younger and in your teens, especially, your hormones all over the place, and the slightest of movement from a decent sized booty will make you go nuts and spend a good amount of time on the restroom or wherever is your preferred place to do it. And when you're older and you already experienced and what having a partner is, well, you can have more control over your friend down there. It's not a case that applies to everyone. Men are men, and yes, I do from time to time like this types of games or go to a character here and there. I have my own guilty pleasure games, but it's not as strong as it was when I was younger. Now, the problem and the potential risks involved while gooning as a young male as that you could alter your sense of what a real female or male, if you're a female watching this, on what type of body type are you into. You see, most of these games, series, anime, or whatever media you go into will most of the time present you with a altered body types that most of the time they won't appear in real life. Like huge breasts, big booties, slender physiques with close to nothing of a waist to show. The mind can be a huge weapon if used correctly, but the problem is that when you look into these things for a long time, your mind becomes conditioned and it will become harder for you to accept any real females who potentially want to establish a relationship with you. There's nothing wrong with gooning. I come from a different place than you. I come from the 90s, and back then things were different, so I see the world through a different set of eyes than you. I don't care for many of the movements or political correctnesses that our world has been going through in recent years. I don't care if you're gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, or if you identify as the opposite sex or whatever suits your taste, as long as you're not hurting anyone, I will support you and we can even be friends. Just let people express themselves and let them goon to whatever they want to goon to. Just let the world be. I know for a fact that there's people out there that will shame on you just for liking certain things or glorify certain types of characters that are really appealing to the male's eyes. Yes, most of these characters will have their own moments and even grow a fan base behind the scenes, and most of them will support them because of that character, or the whole cast of characters are really that appealing to see. Most of these companies know what they're getting into, and they do it because they know it's profitable. The harsh truths that we have to face at the end of the day, sex sells and it sells well. The companies are going to take advantage of that. Need more evidence to support what I say is true? Look into gacha games. There's no better example. You could argue that you are into the plot, and I don't doubt that there's a good gacha game with a good story behind it, but most of them rely on you spending money on that new waifu of the season and that new shiny outfit or swimsuit that shows more skin than the default one. One of the best drugs the industry can sell to you, and it's to some extent legal if you know how to handle it, is sex. There's no more natural and addictive drug than one that has been with humans since the beginning of our existence than sex. It can become a problem if not handled with caution. A little or more moderation is good. Everything under moderation is fine, but the problem with addictions is they sneak into your life little by little that you never really notice until it's too late. I'm ashamed to admit, but I used to play many of these games and I have sunk a good amount of money into them. just for the eye appeal factor alone. Like I said, there's no shame on liking something. The problem comes when you become a spender. For From my point of view, spending on something you like is fine, but when it starts to interfere in your life expenses, then it's time to take time away and make an assessment on your life and give it off for your financial good. If you have the means and want to spoil yourself, then go for it. If it's your money and you decide what do you want to do with it. For me, I got to realize that one day this game will shut down and not going to keep anything. Yeah, you could argue that this happens with any purchase you do with any game. Someday you will have to say goodbye, but at least let me feel like it's something that I enjoy for the real enjoyment of the gameplay and not something that is sex driven. Buy that character skin, buy that weapon skin you want, but make sure that it's something that matters to you always. Can you keep up with the spending habit? If not, just stop. It's hard, I know, but you will always be the top priority when it comes to your spending. Is the game asking too much money from you? Is the game asking too much FOMO from you? Do you feel like this game is more like an account management or more like a chore than rather than enjoyable gameplay experience? I gotta confess that I like Silent Zone Zero. I have showed gameplay in past videos. I like the soundtrack and the urban fantasy it presents, but the thing that got me into this game is the flashy gameplay. I love the combat in this game, but let's not sidetrack, uh, because the topic of today's video is not a review of this game. It's about gooning. Aside from all of the above mentioned, CCC has some enticing character designs, to say the least. There's even communities surrounding these characters that make their own speculation on what character can produce the most milk out of them. I know, I know it's just a game, and some people like to spend their time into it, but I feel like sometimes it can be a little too hardcore, and some fans can be too much into this kind of stuff, and I respect everyone's tastes. I like to have fun every now and then, and sometimes why not join in the conversation and fantasize for a bit just to have fun and have a laugh together. But some can take it into the extreme, and that's where I need you to take a closer look into your life and assess the situation. Are you just taking this a little too serious? If the answer is yes, then you gotta work on the social skills, my man. I know there's plenty of YouTube videos that talk about social skills and all. You're free to take their advantage and see what works best for you. I know that there's been people out there, and sometimes life sucks, but sometimes we gotta take a walk outside and just try to talk to a stranger. The best advice I can give you is to just do that. Go to your local park, plaza, some rando out on the street, on a bench, and just simply start by saying hello. There's no better way to work out those social skills than just say hello. For me and my personal experience, I for most of the time I really never had a problem speaking to women. I just simply approach them and say hi, and most of the time the conversation follows from there, even with the most intimidating ones. And that's how I got to meet most of my female friends I have on social media. Most are really pretty, and with some I even had some sort of relationship in the past, like intimate relationship, if you know what I mean. So there you have it. My opinion on this gooning matter. Gooning can be something good as long as you can see it's something to have fun with. But when you start gooning to take gooning seriously, that is even affecting your wallet or your person in some way or shape as possible, then it's time to take matters into considerations and seek out help. If you have the willpower, then good for you. If not, it will be to take things to a professional therapist to help you with that gooner addiction. Because remember, sex can be its own drug, and companies know this. My name is Jaco, I'm here to tell you to goon responsibly and with moderation. Yes, give give your meat a good old rub now and then, and don't care about what people tell you to what you should be gooning to. Remember that it is your life and you only live once. So live and let the world be, okay? As long as you're not hurting anyone, remember that you can always subscribe and leave your comment in the section down below. I want to know your opinion on the matter, and please keep it simple and be kind to others, okay? I hope to catch you in the next video. Bye bye.